What up? Welcome back. We have made it to Grizzly Gulch. This will be the last of my course walkthroughs for the lines I throw, and hopefully help some people out who are getting through with those 3-star runs. These lines have got me to 999 rated, so there's potential. Probably better ones. Don't think these are the only way, but here we go. To start, I throw a fuse on this hole. If the wind is right to left, I throw it sidearm or forehand. And if the wind is left to right, I throw it backhand. Touch a hyzer either way. They both flip up. They go very straight, and they just kind of bounce or slide up to that basket. Hole 2, if I have a helping wind, I throw the sidearm river, just a touch of hyzer to make sure it doesn't go left, and then let that wind help push it over. The river does land a little bit short, but it slides over nicely, so very happy with that shot every time. If the wind is hurting, I'll go up to a musket and use height to help it slow down as it comes into that green. Hole 3, definitely an eagle opportunity in most winds. This wind would be kind of a tweener. I didn't want to get super aggressive into it, so I tried to just push up the hill into some sort of half look. That's pretty good for a 3 right to left. You can almost see it. This is a runnable shot. This is an air ball. That's not very good, but it's there. It's a 3, and in that wind I'm okay with a 3. If it's more tailwind or left to right, you really want to get farther up that hill and have an honest look at that too. Hole 4, have to get left. River's kind of a scary shot in anything but a right to left wind, but anything on this bank, you can be 20 meters short, you can be 10 meters long. Any fairway driver will get you out there. But you got to be left, and it almost always stays dry. If you hit one of those rocks and kick in, I'm sorry, that's unlucky. But yeah, get left, stay happy. I play this hole, I bet, differently than a lot of people. Only in like a super strong right to left tailwind do I go ballista. Otherwise, I pitch a musket up to somewhere in here. I don't like getting caught up against that rock wall you see, because it makes the putt pitch up way harder. So if you leave it back here a little bit, you can get an honest run more often. And actually make, I'm definitely not all of them, but I make a good number from back there, just in that 30-meter range, pitching up that hill. Hole 6, I throw this turnover. I had a strong left to right wind. I was seeing how little turn I could get away with. You can put a lot on it and be okay. These highs are back pretty well now. But I did get over the arch. That is the goal. And honestly, it's not a good shot. More turn would have put me, in circle 1 for sure, but 20 meters is a makeable shot. Happy to pick up that 2. That is a hole that I expect to eagle every time I play it. So good to pick it up even with a bad tee shot. This hole, I don't know of like a concrete for sure every time safe play, just because of how fast you have to come into this green. This is kind of one of 2 options I use. You can land short of those trees and trickle down this hill. It usually stops. Sometimes it will roll in the water. It usually stops though. There's like 4 rocks there you see. There are a couple bushes. There's a lot of stuff to help slow it down. But you can go early in front of those trees and kind of that cut roll, or you can come into that green real hot, skip up that hill, skip into that tree or those rocks behind the basket, and that works as well. I was feeling aggressive when I was running this round, so I went full distance, light glide ballista shot here in a good wind. Lands well, scoots up the hill. That's one of my farthest shots ever up this hill in this 912 version. 30-meter uphill. This is a very, very makeable 2 on a hole that I don't normally 2. And I went high again. That's a bummer, but to get that look is good, and a 3 here is fine. Almost never do I even try to get up the hill for an easier 2. I just kind of play that hole for a 3. In hole 9, everybody's favorite, cave to cave. I carry a recoil almost for this shot alone. The glide windbreak recoil, I just kind of match the wind with my hyzer. So if it's a strong left to right, I put a little bit of hyzer on it. If it's a strong right to left, I put just a touch of turnover on it. And if it's kind of calm, I'll just throw it straight. And it gets in the cave. There are like 2 or 3 spots in the cave that suck. There's 1 spot in the cave that's out of bounds, but everything else is a putt, and happy to get a 2 there. So 2 eagles is good. Hole 3 I'd like to get. Hole 8 I don't need to get, but 11's a good score. I'll take 2 out of those 3 anytime I can. Okay, now for the time through with a little bit safer plays. Again, on this whole fuse, but now I have left to right wind, so I throw backhand, and it pops up and it goes straight, and it's just going to bounce and it's going to stop, and super consistent play. As long as you control the hyzer to match the wind and make sure it stays straight, that will probably be a consistent 2 for you. Hole 2, a right to left wind this time, so I'm going to go with that musket, and I'm aiming a little bit higher because the musket's faster, so how it's going up and stalling a little bit and now pushing into that wind, it's going to sit a little bit quieter, and it's still, you can see it's still like 10 meters long, but if you throw a low hyzer with the musket even into that crosswind, it can get real quick and get behind where this camera is sitting now. So elevation, or excuse me, how high you throw it can help manage how far it goes. So that the wind I have on this right here is a great eagle wind, but this was a round playing safe, so I pitched the sidearm over here. The sidearm helps the rollaway worries because there's the fence, there's the rock, there's a lot of stuff to help it. But that wind with a big backhand will get you up to the 25-30 meter range, and you can see half the basket to run it. But sidearm pitch up is a fine play for birdie, and to get 9 under, birdies are our friends. So happy with that safe play. Again, this hole you have to get left, so to be safer, I went up to a musket. This is missing more left. It's already into the wall. Like, that's super left, but it's safe, and that's all we need. And again, you can be 15 meters short, 15 meters long, and still have a birdie putt. So focus just has to be left with probably a fairway driver. But yeah, get left, get safe. Again, this wind wouldn't let me get up on top of that rock with the ballista, so I pitched the musket up. I want to land somewhere out here away from that rock wall. It tries to make me upset about it, but it trickles out just enough that I think I can see part of it. Yeah, just barely. This is still too close to the wall. I'd like to be farther back so I could see it more. Into the front, and it bounced in. That's super lucky. If that doesn't drop, I'm just right next to it for that tap-in birdie, which is what we need. Again, pretty good eagle wind. I could throw that ballista turnover. I'm throwing a sidearm recoil that I haven't done in a long time. I like it. Bad luck catches that. That's fine. Anything in the grass back here that's not tucked away in the rocks, we can pitch down this tunnel. So I'm going to go sidearm fuse. Oh, sorry, sidearm pure. You got a backstop back here, so you can pretty much throw anything you want down this tunnel. Hit this stuff, you're 10 meters away. Easy birdie putt. Again, there are only like 2 spots in those rocks that are bad luck. The rest is quite playable and quite able to get down there for the 3. Again, this hole I don't have a 100% for sure safe play, but with the harder wind, it's coming at me this time. I'm going to bump up to the recoil, and I'm going to go past those trees and come into the green hot. Right, and ramp up this hill. You can hit either of those rocks, the tree. There are a couple more small rocks on the ground to the left, but there's a lot of stuff to help stop it. I can't guarantee it'll work every time, but it's consistent enough that I throw it every time, and I'm happy with it. I've only gone out of bounds once or twice that I can remember. Left to right wind. The birdie play on this hole, all you have to do is get right off this tee, anywhere down by these rocks, up on top of these rocks, right there next to the rocks. It's all fine. Anywhere away from the water gives you a shot up this hill. But uphill with the tailwind, you got to be careful. You can leak left a little bit. Aggressive here to go with the river straight at it. I probably should have gone to the right because the misroom to the left is very small and very punishing. The misroom to the right is much bigger and much more forgiving. So safer play would have been to go to the right side of that basket, but the river's straight enough I got away with it. So happy with that. And then again, cave hole for me is a recoil. A little bit of right to left wind, so I'm going to put just a touch of turnover on it. Trust that the recoil stability in the wind will help push that back to the left. And again, anywhere in this cave is fine. Didn't even go up the hill, that's awesome. And 11 meter putt, tap it in for 9 birdies, +1 for that lucky eagle throw in, but 9 birdies, 9 down, 3-star play. Hopefully some of these are helpful, some insight maybe, some lines to try maybe, disc ideas maybe. These are kind of fun to do. Yeah, hopefully one of these videos, one of these shots was helpful. I'm happy with 11 down, happy with 9 down. But thanks for watching these. Subscribe, watch more, stay happy, and until next time, cheers.